week 3, the road to Talon. Just let this traffic go. So currently out on a long ride, trying for a 100 miler. Currently just rode up the Horseshoe Pass. Just waiting for Colin and Tony, just a bit behind me. So up to now we've done 58 miles, and I'm trying to do this ride till we fasted, so just having electrolytes. So I'm going to be covering the way I changed my diet over the last few years since just before lockdown. So I managed to lose 50 pounds. So yeah, after this I'll pull it together and tag it on to the end of this film. Morning. Well, it's the day after a long ride out to Llangollen. Managed to do the whole ride fasted, which is good. So ended up just a touch over 100 miles. A long old day, tough day. And actually the last 10 miles or so were really tough into a real strong headwind, which we still got now. You can see up on the flags there. But a really good day, so that's ticked off the qualifier for the Rustman. So 100 miles in, like I said, tough all day. So about just 8.5 hours riding time. Now I'm gonna go for a short run in a minute, easy run, see how we like to feel, and then we'll get to it. I'll put something together about the diet, of how it's changed over the years. Just before lockdown, I had been watching a documentary about the fat hypothesis, so called fat fiction I think it was, which highlighted how nutritional research had been sort of co-opted and been pushed down sort of the wrong pathway. So about the keto diet. So after that I'd just done some research, and then January before lockdown, so 2019, I went keto and managed to lose around about 50 pounds in 6 months. So I found it really good. After the first few days, just getting used to the change of the diet, eating a lot more fat, cutting that right down on sugar, getting rid of all the junk out of the cupboards. I seemed to go into ketosis, and then it felt like that film Relentless, where I just wanted to get out and do things. Okay, a bit more on the keto diet. So the idea of the keto is to get rid of or limit your carbs that you take in, so all your breads, pastas, starchy veg, right down, trying to eliminate all the added sugars, because the carbs break down into sugars in your body and elevate your blood sugar, which triggers the insulin response to push out the sugar from your blood, and it gets stored as fat. So insulin sort of drives the fat gains, because your body tries to regulate your blood sugars into a narrow range, so you're not getting blood glucose spikes, which then activates the insulin response.
So after the first few days, you go into ketosis. And one of the things that can happen is because you're dropping your carbs, you start to lose some water, and you can get what we call keto flu, which is just an electrolyte imbalance. So when I got it, I just took some electrolytes, and within 20 minutes it was right as rain. So once on keto, because you're increasing the fat and protein, you actually feel full a lot of the time. So satiety signals increased. So you could say it's a bit like a natural GLP-1 Ozempic type thing. Works really well. Like I said, you feel satiated all the time. So I did keto for around about the first 2 years, and once I'd got down to around about 155, 160 pounds, I just stabilised, and I've been around that weight now for 4 years. Really found it easy to sustain by just keeping the carbs low. So I've been really stable around, say, between 150 and 160. And then about 18 months ago, decided to try going a bit more carnivore. Well, I did go carnivore fully, but now I'm at, say, about 85 to 95% carnivore, which I found really good, especially for now I'm doing a lot more sport and exercise. I just seem to be able to recover quite fast. Get very few days where I really, after doing a good run or something, that I've got real muscle pains. Whereas before I'd be aching for days. Now I can, like at the weekend I'd done the triathlon, and then the following day I did a good fast, for me, run straight off the next morning, no problem. Some of the benefits that I got from the keto diet, rather than just pure weight loss, some of the things I didn't really expect. For a couple of years I'd struggled with plantar issues, so pains in my feet, and limited like some of my exercise that I used to be able to do. That just disappeared. Back spasms, every few months I'd get a back spasm, and since swapping I've not had that at all. A couple of times I thought I just twisted slightly and I was going to get where I'd be laid up for a week. Now it just never happens. Slight ache, and then the other one is my hip, being diagnosed with arthritis in my hip when I was around mid-40s. Now cycling did help a bit with that, but since that's really calmed down. Yeah, so overall it's been really positive and had good results. Really feel like exercising and doing things now, so I'm able to get out, and that's why I'm on this journey to try and do the Ironman. So I'm going to try and do something, a big event or something every year, for as long as I can. And it's a way of life now that I'm happy with. Find it really easy. Focus on real food, getting the meat in, mainly ruminant animals. I really enjoy the beef and lamb as my main source of protein, and then occasional bit of chicken. It's actually, since I went carnivore, seemed to progress. So on keto, used to have a lot of chicken thighs and stuff, but now over the last 12 months progressed more to getting the beef. So don't worry about the cholesterol after reading up and the different things, and I'm not too worried about it. Everything else is good, so it's maybe a slight potential risk factor, but I think that's more if you're metabolically unwell. So if you've got obesity and everything else, inflammation, so which I think now being on this diet, I think is one of the big benefits, that I'm not inflamed. So definitely something I'd recommend to people is to go low carb. One of the interesting things I had at the weekend on the triathlon, which will be in the next video, I'll do the video on the day and the week's training up to it, is I was wearing a CGM for the last week, and through the triathlon, and I was actually did the whole triathlon fasted, and it was surprising what with having no intake of carbs or glucose drinks and gels, etc., is I felt really strong all the way through the triathlon, and you can actually see the body making the glucose. So it does have a spike, but again, that's the body's response to the and fueling for the exercise. So body can produce majority of glucose it needs. You don't need to really take in all these gels, or that's what I feel. So I'm going to be testing myself over the next few months. I'm going to do the Ironman. I might probably get another CGM, and just to see how I perform there. I'm going to see how far I can actually do fasted. Certainly I did a 100-mile bike ride last week, totally fasted, never had the CGM at that time, but the whole 100-mile I was strong right the way through. So I don't want to be having to throw down gels, etc. I don't see the point, especially when you see people talking about like the way it gives them stomach issues. So maybe have some protein bars and things like that for when I'm doing maybe the Ironman, just for some fuel on the thing, because some of the research, like from Professor Tim Noakes, into exercising on low carb things, it's one of the biggest things is I think he's proved it's more like hypoglycemia for the brain rather than the muscles. That's the deciding factor. So I think he recommends a very low amount of carbs per hour should sustain you. So that may be something I'll look at. But I'm going to leave it at that, and I don't want to make the video too long. So see you next time.